Well, in Vermont, a centuries-old tradition in local politics is engaging the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Citizens in several communities will vote on whether to adopt a pledge against apartheid that's aimed at Israel. With anti-Semitism already on the rise, it could only deepen divisions. Tara Mergener reports from Brattleboro, Vermont.
When the notice for the annual meeting is put up at the post office, the townspeople start taking sides.
Town Meeting Day is a cherished civic tradition in the Green Mountain State. Each March, Vermont residents meet face-to-face to vote on local issues, from school budgets to road repairs.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. And this year, some ballots include a question reaching far beyond local government, whether to agree to a pledge aimed at Israel to call themselves an apartheid-free community.
It says, "We affirm our commitment to freedom, justice, and equality for the Palestinian people and all people, and to that end to join others in working to end all support for Israel and the military occupation of Palestine."
While the symbolic resolution is not legally enforceable, it will reportedly be considered in at least 3 towns: Montpelier, Hartford, and Richmond.
Apartheid-free means apartheid-free from occupation, from colonization, from oppression.
As part of a national campaign, the Quaker-affiliated American Friends Service Committee has been active here for years. Supporters canvass dozens of communities, collecting signatures to secure ballot placement so they can draw attention to what they describe as human rights violations by Israel. That's a claim strongly rejected by the Israeli government.
Anyone who says that Israel is an apartheid state has no clue what is the real definition of apartheid.
The resolution encourages economic pressure against Israel, such as the boycott, divestment, and sanction movement. The resolution also seeks to oppose all forms of racism, including anti-Semitism.
You know the river to the sea means the destruction of Israel, right?
Yeah, I do know that.
What we're doing is criticizing the policies and the actions of the state of Israel, not the Jews.
Mark Trankman of Vermont Friends of Israel doesn't believe the measure should be included on this unique day and feels a deepening of divisions and tight-knit communities.
The things that people usually talk about in Town Meeting Day are whether to replace a culvert in a dirt road or buy a new school bus for our kids, town budgets. The meetings have been hijacked by this anti-Israel mob.
Since the brutal October invasion, anti-Semitic incidents have risen nationwide.
The number of anti-Semitic incidents in the region has never been higher.
The Anti-Defamation League reports more than 600 incidents across New England in 2024, including in Vermont. Vermont law enforcement investigated threatening letters sent to synagogues in 2025, and anti-Semitic graffiti has also been reported in recent years. Authorities see no evidence linking those incidents directly to local pledge campaigns. Still, Jewish resident Denise Gebro, a personal trainer in Proctorsville, says she is afraid.
I've received hate mail, calling me horrible names, things that aren't true. I've had people on my Facebook page for work go through my friend list and contact a bunch of people that are my clients. Every synagogue's been hit with some sort of graffiti.
Last spring, voters in several Vermont towns approved non-binding apartheid-free pledges. Supporters say this marks the first time municipalities in the country have adopted a pledge of this kind through a public vote.
It really showed the success of this campaign and the success of the organizers and activists in Vermont in proving that Palestine is a local issue.
Thetford became the first town to vote on and approve the pledge. Petitioners argued a public vote was a moral issue and that it reflected community values about human rights.
The Thetford Select Board was concerned that if we didn't have it on the ballot, that it would come up in other business, and folks who were unaware of this topic coming up would feel that they had been denied an opportunity to weigh in.
We won very conservative towns, and we won liberal towns.
The campaign is spread nationwide and internationally, with broad support from faith communities, businesses, and student groups. Critics are concerned about broader social consequences.
We are heading towards a division of America that we have not seen literally since pre-civil rights era, going all the way back to the Jim Crow era and into the pre-Civil War era. And what they're doing is dividing Jews off from the rest of the population. And the historical precedent for this is not pretty.
Stop funding Israeli apartheid and genocide.
In Burlington, the city council, not petitioners, decides what goes on the ballot. And council members have repeatedly rejected the question, saying it could raise tension and does not belong in local government. Meanwhile, in Brattleboro, where voters approved the pledge last year, this restaurant owner says community divisions have deepened.
The amount of hate that we as a business receive is endless. It's on social media, you get it in person. I have my daughter goes to the school, we have doing the salute and saying Heil Hitler in front of her. We getting people telling me, get the F out of here.
More Democrat voters per capita than any other state in the country. So it seems like a good breeding ground or a test case, a proof of concept for the people that want to take this movement nationwide.
Now, some are wondering whether the town meeting day tradition could play a role in how international issues play out in local communities, and whether similar debates spread far beyond the state. In Brattleboro, Vermont, Tara Mergener, CBN News.
When I first started hearing that Israel was an apartheid state, when that accusation was first leveled, I just laughed at it. I thought, you've got to be kidding me. You do not know the reality on the ground. The reality on the ground is Arab Muslims and Arab Christians have full voting rights, full citizenship rights, are elected to the Knesset, serve in the IDF, and have complete freedom within Israel because they're Israeli citizens. Right after October 7th, I had the privilege of going to Israel. I was going to go to the Gaza envelope to see the destruction of the kibbutzes there. And just the irony that they were the ones leading the charge of how Israel could do even more for the people of Gaza, and they were the very ones massacred. As I'm walking the streets of Tel Aviv, I noticed a group of Muslim women. They were wearing their headscarves, and they decided to get some ice cream, and so they went to the ice cream shop, and here they are calmly eating their ice cream on the streets of Tel Aviv, and it occurred to me, nobody's threatening them, nobody's trying to kill them, nobody's trying to rape them, nobody's trying to do anything against them. They live in peace. Now, to say that's an apartheid state, you obviously don't know what's currently going on. Now, when you deal with Gaza, when you deal with the Palestinian-controlled West Bank, when you look at those areas, you see monuments to terror. You see people that are completely dedicated to wiping Israel off the map. They want to kill Israelis, and they do it all the time. If they don't have weapons, they use knives, kitchen knives, to do it. They use cars to ram into bus stops. They are continually doing that. They had plenty of opportunity for their own state, and keep that in mind. Going back to 1948 with the partition from the UN, the Jews said, yes, we will form Israel. And the Palestinians said, we won't form a Palestinian state. We're going to declare war. That has been their stance for decades. And to say that somehow Israel is the oppressor in this equation, no, they're not. They're the victim. They're the victim of Palestinian aggression, Arab aggression, going back for decades. Let's wake up to that. Let's realize this propaganda campaign, it's been incredibly successful, but let's counter it with the truth, with people that really know the history of the modern state of Israel. If you want more information about that, we have plenty of films that go through the founding of Israel, how they were dedicated to buying land, not occupying land. They wanted to build and have the desert bloom. They just took over desert areas and made them incredibly fertile, and they built a nation. On the other side, they were trying to constantly engage in war. They never had any attempt to build a nation. If you want to see it, we have a lot of films like The Hope, In Our Hands, all available on the CBN Family app. I encourage you to get educated, because we all, as Christians, need to be educated on these issues so that we can stand with